Welcome back to Movies Are So Back, the YouTube movie review channel where I, Ethan Simmie, ask the question, are movies so back? The 2025 Academy Awards have happened. We have our Best Picture winner, all of our other winners, and boy, what a night it was. Full of ups and downs, to be honest, full of surprises, full of not so surprises. I have reactions, I have thoughts, I have things to admit. And I was wrong. I just want to admit that here. It takes a big man to admit that he was wrong, and I am that big man. Conclave did not win Best Picture. It's unfortunate. Honestly, I thought it was going to win. I got to be honest. I was full on board the Conclave hive, but the Conclave hive, we'll go back to the club.
You find me cruel, selfish, and unfeeling? I am. I work without caring what happens to either of us. So go back to the club.
We'll be okay. We'll live to see another day. And it was a show. So let's talk about it. Overall, I went 13 out of 23 on my predictions, which isn't great. Honestly, it's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. I feel fine about it. Ultimately, the animated categories to begin the night really threw me off. A Flow winning Best Animated Picture was not on my predictions list. My 6-year-old, who has not yet seen Flow, but is obsessed with the idea of Flow and cats, screamed just so loud when Flow won, I'm sure, along with many other people as well. And then the shorts category is really just unpredictable, to be honest with you. And then some of the smaller categories that ended up leading towards Anora winning Best Picture ended up throwing me off. I went with the safe route, and I did not bet on Anora because Anora did it. Anora pulled it off. Anora went 5 for 6, ultimately winning Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actress. And boy, it was the powerhouse that we all thought it was, but maybe refused to believe it was, at least in my case. I thought it was going to be a powerhouse. I refused to believe that it was the powerhouse that we all thought it was since Cannes and winning the Palme d'Or. And it ended up being the real deal. Sean Baker sets history at the 2025 Academy Awards by being the first person to ever win 4 Academy Awards in a single night. And that is pretty cool. And I will say about Anora, even though I only liked the movie, I didn't love the movie, I would have chosen a few other movies to win Best Picture over this film. I will say that Sean Baker's acceptance speeches progressively got more and more sensational and better and just really, really good. His call for seeing movies in theaters.
So we're all here tonight and watching this broadcast because we love movies. Where did we fall in love with the movies? At the movie theater. Watching a film in the theater with an audience is an experience.
His call for supporting independent cinema, all really important, great things that I am so happy were given the platform on the telecast. So that was really, really neat. I'll dig into a little bit more Anora stuff here in just a second, but I want to kind of run through some of the other shocks, surprises, and reactions that I have. Speaking of acceptance speeches, I love that Dune Part 2 won a couple of awards. Everybody got up there and basically said, hey, we want to thank Denis Villeneuve for being the best director that you could possibly ask to work for. And everybody said it. And then it felt like they all said it in succession and so much that the Academy played them off. And I thought that was very uncool of the Academy, but very cool of the Dune team to basically stick it to the Academy and say, look, you should have nominated Denis. There is an interesting stat out there that I think Sean Fennessy tweeted, referring Dune Part 2 to Lord of the Rings Part 2, which I think is an interesting correlation in terms of what it might mean for Dune Messiah in a few years here at the Academy. Of course, Dune Part 2 only goes on with 2 Academy Awards, which compared to the first one, winning 6 is a pretty steep travesty and a tragedy, but alas, I liked the acceptance speeches. Another movie of note that did win an Academy Award was Emilia Perez. It is an Academy Award-winning film, and that sucks. That's a bummer. Boo. The Substance took home an Academy Award for makeup and hairstyling. I tweeted this, but honestly, just like huge shout out to MUBI. Look, MUBI, if you want to be best friends, let's be best friends. Because I think it's the coolest thing in the world that you were able to take The Substance from a movie that basically nobody wanted, no distributor wanted, to a movie that has won an Academy Award for makeup and hairstyling. That is sensational. Well done to MUBI, to their campaign team, to Demi Moore and Morgan Qualley and the whole squad behind The Substance for pushing this all award season and ultimately finding a way to cross the finish line. I think that's incredible that the Academy awarded that movie that award as it deserves, as it should. Again, MUBI, let's be best friends. You're putting out great work here, and I want to be a part of that great work. Speaking of The Substance, I want to go back to Anora because I said I would come back to this. Mikey Madison won over Demi Moore. I think this is the biggest upset of the night. I truly do, because it was Demi Moore all season long, all the way up until the BAFTA, which I know kind of changed things, but I was still holding out that hope, that momentum that Demi had with her really wonderful acceptance speeches all season long, all campaign season long. And I feel like Demi Moore was the heavily favorited actress to win Best Actress going into Academy Awards night. Ended up being Mikey Madison's. Now, I think the tide officially changed when we saw film editing go to Anora instead of Conclave. That was kind of, in my opinion, the first big Best Picture indicator and where these films would end up placing later on in the night. I feel like if Conclave would have won here, we would have kind of moved in that direction. That would have signified a Demi Moore win, a Conclave Best Picture win potentially. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess if you love Anora, Anora won film editing, and it kind of foretold what was going to happen on the night. And so Demi Moore loses here to Mikey Madison. Very Substance-esque, right, in terms of the plot of the Substance. I personally would have given it to Demi, but, you know, the Academy, they loved Anora. What are you gonna do? This was a big surprise, in my opinion. Let's not forget to mention that the Brutal Boys, you know, me, and all of the Brutal Boys out there, we won. We ultimately won on Academy Awards night, taking home 2 Academy Awards. Daniel Bloomberg winning for Best Score. Boy, oh boy, when that score played, that was some electric stuff. I will say, when the Oppenheimer score played, when Cillian Murphy came out to announce the Best Actor winner as well, holy crap. It just made me realize I rewatched Oppenheimer in IMAX over the weekend, 2 days before the Academy Awards, and I was just like, maybe the greatest to ever do it. Maybe one of the very, very best. That's a different video for a different time. But I'm so stoked that The Brutalist did win the score, as it should have, as it deserved to. And then Adrian Brody ended up winning for Best Actor. Now, I was right about this. So even though I was wrong about Conclave, I was right about Adrian Brody winning for The Brutalist. A lot of people thinking it was going to go to Timothée Chalamet based on the SAG win. I love this for Brody. I think this is great. I am pretty torn on his acceptance speech. I gotta be honest with you. He got up there and he started quite strong, and it was a very good speech. And they went to go play him off, and he was like, "This is not my first rodeo. Stop playing me off. I have things to say." Which I was like, "Wow, that's incredible. What a baller move. That's epic king shit, really." And then he proceeded to talk for like 2.5 more minutes. I didn't vibe with all of it. I did love how he ended his speech saying, you know, let us not be driven by hate. And I think he had really important things to say. It was just like a long scenic route to get there. I believe he holds the record for the second longest Academy Awards acceptance speech in history now. So that's something that happened very in form and in fashion with The Brutalist, I guess you could say. But I'm happy. I'm happy to be a proud Brutal Boy, because it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling seeing those wins. I have a few other things that I want to touch on just generally regarding the Academy Awards. I think there were some odd choices for some of the musical performances. I actually really liked Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande doing Wicked in the beginning. I thought that was quite good, quite cool. And then things got progressively weirder and worse. The 007 tribute, I don't really get it. Why, like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? I mean, I know the franchise just sold to Amazon, and like the franchise is dead now and is dying right before our very eyes. But like, I thought that was very strange and very odd. And then the song choice for the In Memoriam was eerie, and I don't think that was the right direction to go for the telecast. And also the wrong direction. Giving like 4 seconds to David Lynch. Why didn't we just like do a David Lynch thing? You know, like what, like. Come on, guys. It was there. It was right there. Again, the Academy continues to mess up and bungle the In Memoriam, as they do every single year. On the flip side, Conan was the host. We've never been so back. Movies are so back. Like, Conan did it, guys. Conan was so much fun. He was such a great host. His bits were good. His one-liners coming out of the gate midway through the show, 3/4 of the way through the show, were so on point. He had such a good energy and a confidence and really an aura of, we love movies. We are here to celebrate movies, and we love movies, and I've seen these movies, and I know how to talk about these movies. Instead of just using the entire nearly 4-hour runtime, which I just want to put that out there. I think this telecast was 3 hours and 46 minutes long, which I'm a huge fan of. I think it was great. Make it longer, honestly. It was a really good time. Instead of using that entire runtime to basically just be like, wow, movies are so long and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, he made one Brutalist dig, and I thought that was great. I thought that was good, but, you know, he knew when to stop, and he knew exactly what he was doing. I thought he was fantastic. Sign him on for next year. Movies have never been so back. The Academy Awards are moving in the right direction with Conan as the host. I had a really fun time. with the Academy Awards, with the 2025 Oscars. I had a really great time. For the biggest night in Hollywood, I just watched it in my home with my family and my daughters, and they screamed every time Wicked was mentioned. So you know, we're starting them young, I guess, and things are good. As Sean Baker says, we got to support cinema. We got to watch movies, and we got to watch movies in theaters. And I thought it was a pretty fun telecast overall. What did you like most about the 2025 Oscars and the telecast as a whole? Let me know. Drop a comment below. Were you hoping that it was going to go over 4 hours like myself? Because if so, you should let me know, and we should talk, and we should hang out, because we're the real psychopaths. We're the real freaks here that want a 4-hour Academy Awards telecast. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff, honestly. Did you predict Anora to go 5 out of 6? How did you do on your predictions overall? Let me know. Drop a comment below. Are you excited for the 2026 Academy Awards? I mean, look, I'm recording this the day after, but we gotta get prepped. We gotta start moving in the right direction. We gotta start thinking about our long-term predictions here. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell so you are always notified when I do upload a new video. And you can also follow me on Letterboxd for all of my movie musings and thoughts over there. And I'll see you in the next video.